Hello.
Hi, Evan.
Hello, Evan. I greet you with the sound of someone coming into a house and not knowing whether or not there are other people in there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. This is JRPG Historia Future Perfect. We have 10 Macalite ore to get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you guys
See ya.
to whatever it is
See ya.
you do. Goodbye.
So,
He sounds so excited.
Minions rates a 54% on the tomato meter.
Yeah,
So more people love the Minions.
I hate Rotten Tomatoes so much. It sucks
Why is that? You
because
got
it's
a
a
lot of great
terrible
critics.
review aggregate site. Because a movie could get a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like the way they do it is, uh, that they gather reviews and take the score of those reviews and put
Yeah.
them and like make their percentage based on that. But the way that they do it is they just rate negative or positive
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
like a review. So like if a review, I think it's a review has to be by their scale, whatever scale they're using,
Yeah.
60% or better. Like
So
so
if everyone just kind of liked the movie, it could get an 80 or
if
whatever.
literally everybody gave that movie a 6 out of 10 on
Yeah.
their website or
Yeah.
whatever review like they're using, it would get 100
I
on
remember being
Rotten Tomatoes.
being very upset after when I saw Toy Story 3 and I was very into it when I first saw it that Rotten Tomatoes had given it like a 99%, and I looked up like the three uh disagreeing reviews, and like two of them just didn't just didn't have like the plot details down. Like they accused like the one pig of being like the bad guy because he showed up in that scene at the beginning as if he was the antagonist for the whole movie, and I'm like, how is this on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
um, yeah, but yeah, Rotten Tomatoes isn't very good. Nor is Toy Story 3. Nor is it very bad. Hey, Maclight. Um, yeah, this is like watching a very tense screensaver because it could end at any point, but we have no idea when.
Yeah.
Between now and never.
It's so exciting though. It's like a Jack in the Box that just want
A
sometimes
Jack
it
in the Box guarantees surprise, and it's always like, it's a few cranks. A
No,
Jack
that's
in
what
the
I'm saying
Box.
though, but it's like better Jack in the Box because sometimes it might just be like 5 or 6 cranks, but other times it might be like 45 or 50.
Yeah, I hear ya.
So,
Oh, that that Batgirl DLC like continues to weird me out with like how like oddly it just feels kind of empty because like they clearly didn't have much of a narrative beyond like we want people to play as Batgirl for a bit,
yeah.
and because like the premise of this DLC is that like the Joker has captured Commissioner Gordon, and Batgirl's got to go save her dad or whatever.
Of
But
course.
they don't do anything to tie that into like the Arkham series in general,
Mhm.
or like use that opportunity because Robin's with you, so you fight with him sometimes. But they don't use that opportunity to like use maybe a different Robin. They just use Tim Drake, who I guess had only been Robin for 2 months during the like Arkham City storyline, so that means
Really?
that they're sort of contradicting themselves there, and he doesn't really bring anything to the table. It just ends, and was like, I just so confused because like there wasn't like a twist or anything,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, well, that was an hour. That was serviceable, but pretty weird in
Yeah.
terms of not really doing anything. I hope the rest of those are better because I will definitely play new challenge maps or whatever
Yeah.
whenever they
Because
want.
you got the season pass, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely a sucker for that game, even if it is the weakest of the three.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of. G-
Yeah, I get
You
it.
know what? Um,
I just had like it was definitely a case of like I just enjoyed those games,
yeah.
so
Um.
just those base. It didn't have to do much for me to feel satisfied after like being done with it, but
Have you seen like the true ending stuff of that game?
yeah, it's a little.
So
I don't
I
really get what it's going for in terms of like what
s-
point they're trying to make.
so hold on, because this video is going to come out much longer than like farther than when we're recording it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable in talking about spoilers about this game that came out months ago at this
Yes.
point. So
You can
I
you
want
if you don't want to hear the spoilers, you can fast forward or skip to the next 3 Monster Hunter episodes. Where we'll be talking about something different
yes.
while Evan does this.
So I just want to specifically address the true ending thing where like it's the thugs in the back alley like
Yeah, and they
assaulting the
sort of
family.
do like
What
a.
what what do you think that the whole like weird, crazy, like scary Batman thing
So they
implies there?
seem what people seem to be suggesting is that once Batman is revealed as Bruce Wayne, they he destroys his house, so it appears that Bruce Wayne is dead, but he continues to be Batman. I guess rejecting his like allies, and people theorize that he's using like a non-lethal dose of the fear toxin to
Mhm.
like intimidate his enemies to sort of put the myth back in Batman. But I just don't get what was the point of Arkham Knight? Like, what was the militarization stuff all about? Like, that stuff really fell to the wayside. What was the whole like Batman? I seriously felt like parts of that game were definitely criticizing Batman, but then they just didn't follow up on any of it.
Yeah. See, I
Like
just thought the
the part where he puts Robin in that like containment
yeah,
cell is pretty good. That's like a pretty good part. But then it just like it doesn't lead up to anything beyond Oracle being like, that's sort of a dick move, Batman. And
yeah,
then Batman just going like, I needed to, Robin, I'm gonna die soon. My name is Kevin Conroy and I am not
yeah,
at the top of my game. But it was sort of weird.
yeah. So for that ending thing, I took it as like be it Bruce Wayne or Azrael or whoever
Hmm.
as Batman in this situation. I just took it more as like a kind of oh this is Batman, but we're seeing it kind of through the criminal's eyes
Yeah, I could see that too.
of just like
How it's just a metaphor. But they didn't seem
yeah
that scared of him initially, was the
yeah,
thing.
but then like he as he like got ready to swoop down and
Yeah,
everything, like
yeah.
they were like oh shit wait right we are like actually terrified of
Yeah, that
Batman.
makes more sense. Plus, I think pulling the fear toxin into it just
Yeah.
makes the whole situation weirder. But it did sort of emulate, like, Scarecrow's
Yeah,
aesthetic, I
no,
guess.
definitely. It
Yeah,
had the same like effects and everything, but like fear toxin is literally just that. It's just something that makes you hallucinate like your worst fears.
yeah.
And for those common
So they were able to
criminals,
make
yeah,
that, yeah, makes
like
sense.
that's kind of how I took it. Like those common criminals, that is their worst fear. So that is just like that was just in like telling the audience, yes, Batman is still there, and yes, people are still afraid of him,
Yeah.
despite like them saying they're not.
How would you feel about a Superman game? Because people are thinking Rocksteady might try
I
that.
I mean, I would have to see what it is because there could be so many different
Yeah,
directions that's gone in.
that's obviously a tricky business. I saw a pretty good Polygon article where they were discussing how each of the Superman games had like approached health before,
Yeah.
since he's invincible. Um, Although I guess that newest Superman game from like 2006 just took the approach of like you need to the health meter was the city and you needed to save the city.
Oh, that
So
sounds
like
interesting.
yeah, that made more sense to me than I guess that's just a difficult thing to make interesting
Yeah.
in as a game. Although Saints 4 was a lot of wacky fun, and you're a
Yeah.
superhero in that. So
Yeah. but that like
But yeah,
leaned
yeah,
into it in a different way.
yeah,
Whereas like they don't have to like deliver on this character
yeah. You don't
because
have to be
they're just
invincible.
making their own ridiculous stuff. Where I don't know. I would definitely be interested in a Superman game, especially with like some of the ways that the New 52 handled Superman, where he didn't have all of the powers that
Yeah,
he
you would
had in like
basically
the
need
old
to
run.
just strip some of his powers out,
Yeah.
I think. But they would probably end up doing like a trilogy again if that were to happen. And I
Yeah.
think like eventually they'd it's just gonna be another Arkham Knight problem. Except well, I guess they don't need to justify anything. I just think Superman Untapped is kind of a risky business. Or they
Yeah.
can make the whole trilogy like a origin story thing. I don't know. That's just hard to do.
Yeah.
Maybe Kryptonite has become a core component of the atmosphere on Earth.
Kryptonite bullets, yo.
Yeah. What was that from? Was that
Uh,
actually used?
I think that was just in a Superman game, maybe.
Did you
I
ever
forget.
see Superman Returns?
Yes, yes, I did.
Um, do you remember the part where Superman deflects a bullet with his eye?
Yeah,
It's pretty
that's the
great.
opening shot of that movie, isn't it?
No, that's oh maybe I don't really recall how late in the film it is, but there's
I,
definitely that part where that guy's shooting that minigun.
yeah, I could have swore that was like the beginning of that movie, but I might be wrong.
I feel like the beginning of that movie had something to do with Lex Luthor, like that whole business.
Yeah,
And
yeah. The best thing to ever happen to Superman Returns was having Kevin Spacey play
oh,
Lex
definitely,
Luthor.
he's easily the highlight. And his plan is pretty hilarious,
Yeah, just like making like a
making
kryptonite
a
continent.
giant kryptonite island. And I
Yeah,
guess he just thinks that like he'll get away with selling off property of this giant continent
that
as like
Superman can't go to.
yeah, which just doesn't. I don't see how he doesn't expect retaliation from the United States, but that's fine.
You know.
It's doesn't that movie end with like him being on that desert island and just
I
like slapstick?
couldn't even tell you how that movie ends. The only thing I remember from that movie is the
It's good.
bullet getting deflected with his eye,
Yeah,
and the his son
Super
pushing
Kid.
that piano.
Yeah, Super Kid. That's a weird movie.
It's a bad movie.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Brandon Ruth, good as the Atom in Arrow and The Flash.
Was that the guy that played Superman?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm just so used to the new Man of Steel treatment, you know,
Yeah.
the good version.
Yo, Man of Steel is awful. Such
Yeah.
a bad movie.
It is. Zack Snyder is a genius director, but he made a misstep with that film.
Yeah, you know, with other greats like that one movie about the women in the insane asylum,
Yeah.
and then
Super Sucker Punch. I saw that
Super
movie.
Sucker Punch,
Super bad. Super bad.
Super
No,
Bad Punch.
Sucker Punch was bad.
Yeah.
I've seen that. That is it's very lame.
Yeah.
I've seen Watchmen. I've seen most of his movies. I guess I haven't seen
You know what?
300.
Watchmen's all right.
Watchmen's all right. Although I feel like that is just because Zack Snyder was a huge Watchmen fan and just did it as straight laced as possible. Because I guess he was reenacting certain shots just based completely on just images from the comics. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've read that comic. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've only read the first chapter, but I like it. I definitely like the fact that doesn't Nixon get reelected for 5 terms or something?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm pretty sure there's like a really good, like hammed up Nixon guy in the Watchmen movie.
Yeah.
Like they really like exaggerate his features and everything.
Have you seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I've
Because-
watched the first season.
Because Zack Snyder looks like Dennis from that show. I
Yeah.
forget his name. Yeah. It's distracting me a little bit. That's a pretty good show.
That's a
Despite
great show, actually.
if you thought that from the first season, then it only
I've
gets better.
seen bits and pieces of
Yeah.
the rest of the show,
Yeah, its
which is
new
why I
season
call
is
it a great show.
actually one of its best, I
Yeah,
think.
which is
Yeah.
insane because that's like the 10th season of that show.
Yeah, I love that show it has been renewed until its 12th season, so up through its 12th season. And
That's
it
good.
makes it gets like 500,000 views every night. But it's great.
I think it does like really well, like online and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And like especially like DVR'd and everything too. There's a reason FX knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Especially to bank their like when they made FXX, and they moved that show to there to be like the
Yeah.
draw.
Yeah.
Like
True.
they definitely know something about that show.
It's God, it's just really depraved. Like at this point, um, I believe Frank almost kills a man this season
Yeah.
in like the very first episode. There's a part where there's a pretty good episode where Dennis is using like a dating app, but the girls that he like keeps dating keep rating him like a 1 star, and he so he goes up to women and is like, "I'm a 5-star man," and proceeds to be downrated even further. And it's pretty good. There's there's a like 7-minute tracking shot in one episode that is actually really impressive. It's probably the best episode of that show where
Yeah, I
Charlie,
think that's the thing about the show. It's not just like it's very funny,
yeah,
but that show is just so well made.
yeah.
Like it's the timing and
I just
like,
want
yeah.
a gif of Danny DeVito like crawling out of that couch for that one episode.
There are so many.
Oh
of those
yeah,
GIFs.
yeah. I love it whenever I see one.
There's people have combined that GIF with the GIF from Ace Ventura where he's crawling out of the rhino's butt.
Yeah, that's applicable.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Danny DeVito is amazing. I love how they just like we're like we need this show to get popular. We need to get a good actor on this.
We
It's,
get Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. And
Who I
he's just
think is
the
like
best
80.
addition.
Danny DeVito is very old. Danny DeVito is older than Riff Raff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a fact. He is
Yeah.
in fact older than Riff Raff.
Was that movie where he was the Penguin any good?
The Batman movie?
Yeah. The one
Uh,
after the famous Batman movie?
I don't think so, because that was the one where Halle Berry was Catwoman, right?
Yes. No,
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
don't-
no, 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 Michelle Pfeiffer
Oh no,
was Catwoman.
right. Halle Berry was Catwoman in like her own.
In Catwoman, yeah.
Yeah. God, can't believe they made a Catwoman movie. But anyway, I think I know people like Danny DeVito in that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how they feel about
Everything
that
else.
movie specifically.
Yeah, that makes sense. Batman Forever is really where that movie series took off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I sort of feel like the Minions marketing is just like the only time I can remember a marketing push this aggressive was like the Godzilla movie and also the Star Wars Episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Those movies definitely had huge marketing pushes that I sort of feel like I haven't seen in the last 13 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really fascinating. I'm really glad the Minions are around.
Oh boy. Maybe Monster Hunter is just awful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's great.
No, okay. Just making sure.
Yep.
Just
great.
have to check. It's either awful or great.
There's no in between.
There's no in between.
Not at all.
Well, everything else is really good, but this part is just a little bad.
Yeah, exactly. This part just gets a little rote, maybe. But
Yeah, maybe a little tapped out because you're tapping into these minerals You see what I mean? You
Yep.
gotta get macallite ore. You have to tap into this mineral vein of macallite. Or, I don't know, what is macallite? Is that like a gem?
Yes.
Okay,
Don't you
then,
watch Steven Universe?
true. I completely forgot that macallite was an individual on that show.
Yeah. Well, technically, I guess in that show, Macallite is not a gem, but
Yeah. Well, wait, who is macallite again?
Macallite is the fusion of lapis lazuli
Right.
and uh what's her name? Jasper.
Yeah. Yeah, that checks out.
So she is not a crystal gem, but all those characters are named after gemstones. So
Yeah, that seems like a bad situation that Lapis Lazuli is in.
nah, she's fine.
Yes.
She wants to help Steven out. She's fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they seem to be making a lot of like sex connections with this fusion stuff. That
Uh-huh.
does not seem like a good fusion.
No,
It
it's
seems
great.
like-
It's
It
fine.
seems like a bad fusion.
Yeah. What are you talking about? There can't be lesbian relationships on TV.
Yeah. Just makes me concerned when people don't want to be fused together, and then they're fused together.
But she's doing it for Steven to protect him.
Yeah, that's true.
There's that
Just
great
just
moment.
like Connie, that really freaked me the fuck out. I was like, Connie, what are you doing?
There's that great moment in the first episode with or not the first episode, but the
Cookie
The-
Cat.
yeah. No, the episode with Stevani, or well, not even Stevani, the flashback episode with Greg when
Stephanie.
Stevani. When Greg finds out that Connie and Steven have fused,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What? That's inappropriate."
Yeah, Steven's like a fucking 13-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, he's
Right.
a baller.
Yeah.
I think he's
baller.
actually younger than that. I think he's like 10.
Jesus.
Yeah. So,
Already
Man.
already getting into huge art criticism talks with Connie.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's been through a lot for a 10-year-old. But he's
Yeah.
also kind of like a couple thousand-year-old woman trapped in a 10-year-old's body.
So, does that mean Steven can live forever? Or no,
I
he
think
doesn't
what
he
it means-
regulate his age?
Yeah,
Regular
so
disease,
I
right.
think what it means is that when Steven dies, Ruby Rose would have the opportunity to return. Because presumably the gem would still be there.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just
it's
a weird situation.
I'm waiting for the episode where Steven gets like fatally injured and then Ruby Rose shows back up.
That's the final season of Steven Universe. No Steven. Steven-less Universe. It's a spinoff.
Just Universe. It's just called Universe.
It's just called Yeah, it's actually another spin-off from the Drakengard franchise. That's what they're doing. It's actually just an alternate universe. What do we do? We cutting down velociraptors now?
Please, Jen Prey.
Gen Prey. Gem Prey? Like the
Gen
crystal
Prey.
gems?
Jen.
Gen. Generation X.
Yes.
This is just a way for me to think of new marketing buzz terms. Generation. Generator. Generate interest.
X-Men movie, the newer one.
Yes. The
Was it-
Days of Future Past.
Yeah, how was that?
I thought it was the best one of those.
Really?
It's pretty good.
Oh,
And I
crap,
think it made some smart decisions in how to fix that sort of fucked movie universe after X-Men 3 sort of ruined it for a while.
I really should watch that movie.
Yeah, I watched all of those movies within like a 24-hour time period
Oh, jeez.
because I hadn't seen any of them. So I'm like, let's do it. And I only liked 2, including Days of Future Past.
Which two?
X-Men 2. X-Men 2 was okay, I guess.
X2, X-Men United.
Yeah,
You mean-
X2, X-Men United was decent.
Who was the villain in that?
I
one?
liked First Class all right. The back half of First Class isn't too bad. The bad guy in X2 is that one military dude. and also
Oh, right, right, because they go to the lake.
yeah, and also there's the one lady that has Wolverine powers.
Yes, with her nails.
Yeah, didn't
But
didn't
it's
she
not
have
even powers, is it? Doesn't she just have adamantium nails? Isn't that the thing? Because like Wolverine's power is like the bone claws and healing.
regeneration? Yeah, I'm not sure, but probably because he does kill her, I believe. Uh, actually kill. That's some gruesome shit for a PG movie. Yeah, they really the X2 is actually like a good deal more violent than the first X-Men movie because almost nothing of like none of the cinematography for any of the fight scenes in the first movie is like any good or all that impactful. But then like in X2, Wolverine's just like hanging out with the freeze guy, and then a bunch of like special agent soldiers just come in and then just stabs like
Right.
3 of them in the chest immediately, and I'm like, oh
Yes,
shit,
I remember that movie now.
Wolverine's not messing around.
Yeah, because that was the first movie with Kitty Pryde in it too, right?
Yeah, no, that was actually X3.
No, I
X.
totally thought she was in two. Maybe she was
You mean
just in
Ellen
a.
Page?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the third movie.
Okay, she was in. I remember her like phasing through that wall through a wall when those people are chasing her though. So maybe she just had like a little cameo in that movie or something.
That might be possible. Let me look. Although, I mean, yeah, that was an okay movie.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. I don't know. It didn't make me get into the X-Men. No, that she was just in the Last Stand.
Ellen Page was right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Must
Although
somebody else is her in that movie.
I know they have what is it? Rogue, Rouge.
Rogue.
That's it. Rogue. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in
That
those.
that is what's her name? Um, can't remember that lady's name now.
Yeah.
She was in True Blood.
The Last Stand is really bad.
Oh, it's awful.
Although not as awful as X-Men Origins Wolverine.
No, that movie's great. What are you talking about?
That one has the adamantium bullet.
Right.
That's so good. The Deadpool, he stitches his mouth shut.
Yeah, everybody
They
was pretty upset about that.
there's so many good parts in the movie. There's that great part where it just does like one of those parts where Wolverine is just walking away from an explosion in slow motion.
Yeah, because he
looks
like
terrible.
because he strikes like the oil trail of the helicopter with his claw or
Yeah,
something.
there are there are just some aggressively terrible parts in that movie. Like at the beginning, that whole beginning sequence is bad, where he has like the bone claws come out. Like
Yeah.
that child actor was no good.
No,
And,
it's great.
um, what movie came after that? Was
Oh,
that First Class?
it was
Years later?
well, Wolverine is also. Wait, Wolverine takes
Wolverine
place
came out after First Class, and it
right. Is
takes
that
place after X-Men Last Stand.
does it take place? Okay,
Yeah.
right. Because then the stinger at the end of that movie is Professor Xavier still being alive,
Yes.
which leads into Days of Future
Days
Past.
of Future Past, kind of. Although that takes place far in the future, I guess. So.
Yeah. Do they ever explain how Professor Xavier comes back? Oh wait,
Yeah,
I
somehow.
I remember how.
Well,
It's
they
like
actually just CGI'd his face, like in Last Stand. Ugh. Also, that movie's continuity is a little. That movie series continuity is a little messed up from
Is
that
it-
scene where they're just hanging out because it doesn't really make sense compared to what they said earlier that they were buddies like that.
isn't
But
isn't the thing like that at the moment before Professor Xavier died, he like transferred his mind into the body of his comatose twin or something?
I don't remember that, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Uh, yeah, Days of Future Past is mostly good because it's just, I don't know, it's just a little goofy, and I like
Yeah.
all the actors.
It kind of knows what it is.
Yeah, for the newer people, it's just it kind of has the 80s spy thriller thing going on, kind of like Captain America Winter Soldier, but it's also just, I think, Hugh Jackman is totally good as Wolverine, and I don't know, I just think that they do some impressive stuff in terms of like leveraging all that character history and then fixing the last or final stand, whatever, that goddamn terrible third movie that killed
No, it's
off
great. Like he says I love you and
Cyclops.
then he stabs Phoenix.
Oh yeah. Doesn't that guy have all those needles? He was in
Yeah.
Lost.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like Sawyer's friend in Lost. He showed up in Asian 4 or season 4 uh as part of like those God, Lost. This is really just a freewheeling tangent. Historia Future Perfect, huh?
Yeah. No, Mutiny, yo.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if Evan gets any macloid ore here. Okay, I was about to say, if you didn't even get one more piece of ore after it announces that the iron axe is broken, that would suck.
Yeah.
It was just like, nah, it broke. You just couldn't. You didn't have enough of a pickaxe to get out this iron ore. Although, I guess in the world of Monster Hunter, all pickaxes break immediately after you retrieve what you came there for.
Yeah.
They just shatter in your hand.
Exactly.
I should just watch a Prison Escape. Is that new Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Do you know what movie I'm talking about? Where he's in a prison.
You mean the one with
Sylvester Stallone, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. I think
I've seen that.
How was that?
No good. No good.
It seemed...
You know how it's like hard to understand Arnold Schwarzenegger sometimes, and like
Yeah.
in Sylvester Stallone movies, it's hard to understand him sometimes. Like, what if it was just those two people having conversations the entire time?
So they fixed the problem.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like Honey Boo Boo, where you wish they put subtitles on
Right.
the movie, just like for when they're talking. You don't need it for everybody else, but just them.
I haven't seen a second of Honey Boo Boo.
I've just heard things.
Oh, okay.
Heard amazing.
Well,
things.
that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Is it an otherwise amazing movie?
Yeah. No, it's awful. It's bad.
Oh, okay.
They're on a boat. They thought the prison was like an Alcatraz or something, but they're on a boat.
Oh, that's
So,
pretty
do you
crazy.
know the
So
plot?
when they escape, are they still fucked?
So do you know the plot of that movie?
No.
Okay. So here's the thing. Sylvester Stallone was like a professional like criminal kind of person.
Yeah.
He got put in jail a lot when he was younger. So at some point he was like, you know what, I'm gonna turn my life around. I'm gonna straight and narrow. My new job is going to be getting hired by the government to get put in prison without anybody else knowing,
Yeah.
and trying to escape to test the prison's security.
Right. But this particular prison is so he's just escaping from prison to escape from prison.
That's initially what happens.
But then the prison turns out to be more dastardly.
Yes, and I don't remember how it's more dastardly.
Yeah.
I just remember they want off of this prison. So he recruits Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is also like this huge villain, like criminal, who might have been wrongfully imprisoned or something. I don't know. The plot's a mess. But like, so they have to team up and escape, and after they like escape, they end up finding out they're on a boat. So that like throws another obstacle into their escaping.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of stopped watching.
Okay.
Movie's bad.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I'll check it out.
It's awful.
Yeah. 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 Sounds
So bad.
good. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
So bad.
So sounds good. Prison, is it called Prison Escape?
It did.
Prison
Maybe?
Break. Let me see. Arnold Schwarzenegger filmography.
Let's just
We'll
run
get
down
to
the
the bottom
list.
of this. Have you ever seen his documentary Pumping Iron?
No, I've heard great things though.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh, he's a Kennedy.
What?
He's part of the Kennedy family tree, according
How?
to this. See also of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm about to figure that out.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Why are you talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
It's been a long road.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well,
We got on the subject of that prison movie he was in with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, don't tell me the name of that movie.
I'm
Wait.
trying to figure it out right now.
It's Escape Plan.
Escape Plan. Thank you.
Yeah.
I watched some of that. We were talking about the plot of that movie and how it's ridiculous.
I got 3 Macalite ore.
That's
Congratulations.
1 per run.
We're getting there.
Yeah, I think that leaves us with 5 left that we need. I'm letting the Gypsaros kill me in case you couldn't tell.
I
Yeah.
can tell.
The Gypsaros, a notably different and interesting monster from the other bosses I've fought. It has that tail sweep attack.
Mm-hmm.
It spits poison instead. Doesn't the other one do some other thing that's poison?
The Rathalos, his tail is poisonous.
His tail is poison. This one spits poison.
Yeah. It's entirely different. I mean, that would be an entirely different species in real life.
Charges at me.
You just have to think about this from a real life perspective. When it makes sense for a dinosaur or, like an animal like this to exist in this universe with these resources,
Ryan.
Yeah.
What game do you think is better? This game, Monster Hunter, not any of the other Monster Hunters, or The Crew?
The Crew.
Okay.
To wrap everything up.
I was just curious. I wasn't necessarily going to be angry at you either way. I was just curious.
Now,
Yeah,
Monster Hunter 4, is it better than The Crew?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you've given up on defending this game.
Yeah.
There's no I've broken you down, or the game, I guess, more so than me, has broken you down.
No, it's great.
Okay. So is this like a Pokemon Yellow situation?
What? Like what? What do you mean? Pokemon Yellow is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that part at the end of Pokemon Yellow where it was literally like one turn that the whole one, like if that one Pokemon used that one move, then we would always die, and the one time it didn't, we just steamrolled the whole ending of the game.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
Thanks for joining me, guys.
Always a pleasure.
See you tomorrow. Maybe
See ya.
we can wrap this up.
Probably won't.
7 Maclight ore? Are you crazy?
We only need 5.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Well, let me double check that. I don't want to say something I regret.
Yeah, I think it's 7 actually.
Why did I think 5?
I don't know, but now you feel really shitty now that you thought 5, huh?
Bye. JRPG Historia Future Perfect deactivate.
Blah blah blah.